being an introvert and what is needed. You are building a relationship on a regular basis. To me, this is one stellar example of how coaching can help in actually bringing out a potential in a way that you would have never even imagined. I'm going to now tell you about the case of a very senior leader, very good, well known in a company, doing extremely well in terms of his function. But suddenly he hit a low in his career in the sense that beyond a point he was not able to grow. That is the time when the CEO had called me and asked me to come and talk to him, see if he could be coached to help him to realize his potential probably and where he can be made to expand his capabilities much more than where he was at the moment. So I started my coaching journey with this person. Normally, it begins with understanding the person's life story and all that. And during that process, I came to understand that he was a senior leader who was an introvert. Nothing wrong with being an introvert. I mean, it's absolutely fine because introverts have some great strengths, extroverts have got some great strengths. So, nothing that this is right or wrong, there's nothing like that. So, where was the issue and the challenge that he was facing? Okay. The challenge that he was facing was in terms of managing his team, he did not have any problem. Where he was hitting a roadblock was when he had to interact at the senior levels, other functional heads, maybe the board members during the board meetings and all that. So I said, you have been able to talk to many people otherwise very well without any problem. Why is it that, He again brings back the same label as, no, I'm an introvert. I don't easily go and mingle with people on that. My job, my work, on purpose, I call up anybody. There's a need, I call up and I speak to them and I get the job done. It took me some time for me to bring in the difference between what is your natural personality, what is the personality that your role will demand. All of us are not made or born with the roles that we will be picking up later on in our lives to that perfection. We are born the way we are born, and there is a nature to us. But as we grow along and as we move into leadership positions, particularly, there is a role requirement, right? If I need to be innovative in my role, I need to be innovative. I may not be the most creative person, but if I'm going to land up in a job that demands creativity, people will expect creativity. And if you don't give in that creativity, then you're not doing justice to your role. You better find another role, right? So, I had to bring in the distinction of, a nature, which is your natural self, which is here, it's about being an introvert, and what is needed in terms of some of the features of being an extrovert, which means reaching out to people on a regular basis without any agenda and being able to build a relationship with people. How can that become a habit for a person who's by nature not that? So, in such people, it was very important. In this particular case, I had made it a mention that, if we do not reach out to people, to the senior people, to the other functional heads on a regular basis, then you will definitely have a roadblock, which already you are experiencing anyway. So how can we make that happen? How do you actually reach out? It's not coming to you naturally. So I said, you walk across, talk to each one of the functional heads, make out a relationship matrix. Who are your key stakeholders? Can you have a periodical either face-to-face meeting or by way of telephone or whatever? Pick your methodology. Go and tell them, I would like to meet you every fortnight. Purpose is twofold: to share with you what we are doing and update the person with the various projects that he would be interested in terms of what you're doing. Second thing, also to pick his brain on certain aspects of what you are doing, which can also make them feel very important. They'll say, yeah, so and so came to me, took my advice, took my inputs. This way, you are building a relationship on a regular basis. There will come a time when we have to leverage that relationship where you put up a new policy, or a new project that's coming up, when you seek the support, it will automatically come to you because you're already on a platform of trust and connectedness with that person. But he said, how does it become because my nature? Again, he had the confusion. So the perfect thing that we need to understand here is, if it's not in your nature, can you nurture it? Nature versus nurture. If it's not in my nature and if the role demands, I need to nurture that behavior without taking the excuse of saying it's not in my nature, it's not in my nature. How long will you keep saying that? You actually hear in so many people, they keep saying, this is what I am, this is what I am. So every time you are reinforcing the fact that I cannot change, I am like this, I cannot change, don't expect me to change. I will be like this, come what may. But we know that there are certain attributes which you cannot change, actually is causing a lot of damage to you. And if you keep reinforcing it again and again, it's not going to be helpful. So to this particular coachee, I had to make the distinction, make him understand, if you can't demonstrate this as your nature, can you nurture it and make it your habit? I was just talking to this person about, this happened about 5 years ago, and called him up sometime last, I think it was about a year or go back. He said, sir, now these days people can't tell me at all that I'm an introvert. People will never even believe that I'm an introvert. Though I know within myself that I'm an introvert, people will not believe it even if somebody has to walk up to them and ask them. Thanks to you, sir, he said that. So I'm saying that there are these aspects that you believe you can't change at all about yourself can still be worked upon and changed for your better, right? To me, this is one stellar example of how coaching can help in actually bringing out a potential in a way that you would have never even imagined or even thought about. It was there within you, but the way in which it was brought about, much against your nature or different from your nature, you got it right. That's the power of coaching. That's how you should be able to leverage a coaching support to enhance your potential, which can help you to grow in your profession. As individuals, we are not perfect, but we have a lot of potential. Nobody understands, nobody knows the limits of human potential is infinite. We just need to go for it. If you go for it, you will find it more and more within you. A coach exactly does that. He helps you to find more and more of your potential. That's what happens. And to me, this is one of the good examples that I can always talk about, which is so fulfilling to me as a coach. And mind you, this person calls me and tells me that it's made a huge difference in his life. What more do you need, right? A very interesting, opportunity that came my way. I was normally our work as a coach happens in the corporate world where we are coaching teams to perform better, teams to realize their potential and perform at a much higher level, right? As a team coach, I've been doing this. Here was a new ask, not from a business organization, but from an NGO. They wanted us to coach the teams, which was one of the teams which was into delivering their service to the lesser privileged people. So we went in as team coach, and here was a set of people who are quite different from the normal corporate, what you see in the normal corporate world. They do not know, they don't talk about profit and loss, they don't talk about cost efficiencies and stuff like that. They talk more of empathy, help, and support. Probably only the people who are running the NGO would be bothered about all this P&L and other things or whatever financials and stuff like that. But here is a team that, by way of passion and interest, has come together to serve in the most challenging contexts: the juvenile homes, the boys' home, the girls' home, where the people have come from distraught backgrounds, for them, they only know in terms of they're doing this because somewhere down the line they are able to see a deep sense of compassion, kindness, and empathy within them, which they would like to show to another human being. They are not here for a high aspirational, high growth career, success and stuff like that. So it was that set of a team of such people. Now the ask here was, how do we raise the levels of performance? Now that was something for us to look at. Team coaching always happens as a two-member team coaching the entire group. So it was not myself, it was another person also as a team coach. So we went in. One of the most important things that I would like to talk about here is how, even in such situations, it is a human being to a human being, a person to person, working together, collaborating for a common purpose, and being able to deliver results as a team. We had to actually talk about how effectively the whole team members were able to converse, express, flow with each other in a comfortable, free manner. While they were all doing individually a great job and maybe doing good job as a team also, we sensed that something was holding them back from being a fully flowing team or a high performance team. We discovered that it's because of the age group within this team, somewhere in their late 40s, somewhere in their early 20s. They're all in one team. And today we know the multi generational profiles, right? So it was generational gaps were there in terms of understanding each other. So I would only talk about one aspect of what we did because I think that was a very, very important foundational one for them to move forward, which was to remove the barriers, mental blocks between people one another. So we made every one of them list out the persons whom they do not know much within the team. They are farthest from them. They are not the closest. Who were they farthest from in terms of knowing? Each one made a list. There were at least 2 to 3 people in each one's list. We gave them a full 1 month where we said, please meet up with each other, talk to them, understand them better as people. Okay? This was the first exercise. After 1 month, all of them came back and said they have had these sessions. They've understood them a little better. Definitely a little better from where they were. So again, the team is performing at a level where, yes, okay, I know you, you know me, okay, things are fine, okay. In teams always, it's very important that not all of you are going to have the same opinion or the same view on one particular subject. So do we talk about a different point of view or a different view that you have, so there can be a more enriching discussion and a better outcome or a decision based on that. So the next thing was to challenge each other. Again, that was an exercise in which we made them practice over a period of time. I must say, after 4 months now, this team today is almost there in terms of saying, with a lot of courage, without any hesitation, I can tell things on your face. They could tell each other whatever they felt about anything on each other's face. There has been a movement. The needle has moved from where it started to where it is now. Simply by establishing a basic connect between two, you have raised yourself up to a level of being able to disagree, to bring out a different point of view, to always also say, let us agree to disagree. Needle has moved. The team is now in a better position to arrive at better decisions, taking the collective minds into the picture and giving their best. Now, that is again, I would say, as a team coach, we were able to see how a group can be made to perform better than what they were earlier performing and to help them understand what are the blockages within each one of them that is holding them back. Release those blockages, your highway is then free to flow, to drive through. That again is a perfect example of self discovery, diagnosing the problem, being able to come out with solutions, implementing those solutions, review yourself how you have moved from where you started, patting yourself on the back that it is helping me, and then moving forward. Now it's become a way of life, it's a habit. So, one of the coach's objective in this whole coaching journey always is the changed behavior must become a habit, which means it's institutionalized. It's now a way of life. So, that is very important. That's what ultimately I tend to do. Have you brought about a lasting change in a person by way of a habit? And if you've done that, you made a difference for a lifetime.